Hey, welcome. All right, thanks for tuning in to check out your boy. He fun. Thinking right out here in the lab. What do I do for you? Oh, I got a nice one for you today. You said it every day. That's how I feel about it. Every day. Let's go. If you ain't feeling good about what you're doing, don't do it. Moving on. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive it. Numbers telling me you appreciate what I'm doing. So I appreciate you tuning in. Let's do what we do. Right thing is mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. That's my mission as the master of right thinking philosophy. All my right thinkers should know thyself. That's the mission, that's the goal. You following this, that should be your mission also and your goal. Moving on. The question: do you know you? It's rhetorical. I gotta ask. So, and if you don't, I can help you. That's I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. A person who knows not and believes that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. The right thinker, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Today's lesson is a good one. I handpicked this one out of the book and rearranged it my way, so I'm gonna put it down the way I like to do it, my way. Right thinkers, let's talk about religion. And it's three levels that makes you religious. If you follow the method, that will get you where you're supposed to go. If not, won't make it. And let's talk about the three levels, but also the misunderstood teachings of religion. So let's go. Let's talk about it. Ain't nothing to do with spirituality. Nothing, no, no, no. This is a religious concept. I'm gonna break down for you religious people. The term religion, if you know what it is, it comes from the Latin word religare, Relegare, which also uses the root word which means back, taken back. Okay, remix, redo, a do-over, mulligan. That's what means to go back. And in Latin, which okay, means to go back, and legion, which means to what? To hold, to link, to bind, to pull, to get you back. The idea so that what? The essence of your true religion is what? Is to link you back to your essence. If they don't tell you what your essence is, what are you linking back to? That's what knowledge of self does. That's the difference in religion. There's professing things that don't really clarify too many things. Let's talk about that. The essence of your true religion is what? Linking you back to what? But the idea, watch this, the idea is to link the followers, religion followers, back to your original source and your innermost essence. Do they tell you what that is? I do. God. That's why, excuse me, that's why the word religion and term religion and yoga are what? Synonymous. They mean the same thing, but you just go about two different ways. I broke down religion and yoga for you before another lesson, but they are supposed to be the same thing. And watch this, I'm gonna show you. The real source and underlying reality behind creation is described. Here you go. Just with religion, I get an issue with them. Behind the described concept is they describe unborn, undying, eternal, immortal, and is even known by what? Many endless numbers and myriad of names and identities that people feel they can use to identify the same one, but all different concepts and viewpoints, which we understand. So understand this. Now, here you go. And many names. Here's a few. Here's a few names of the gods that they express. Starting out with consciousness. He's all conscious. I use that because before he put us here, he put the air, he put the water, he put all the elements in place before he brought humans on board. So that's consciousness. Self, the one, everything from the self, aka the noon. Some call it the higher self. Here's one everybody familiar with, God. Okay? Egyptians, Amen. Goddess, supreme being, the divine self, the eternal self, the soul, the pure consciousness. These are all names given to the one person that we know as God, but these are all the names that he let all his followers know. I will be called by a bunch of different names, and that's fine. He's good with that. Brahman, the All, Allah, Jehovah, Neda, Nedaru, Nebinger, the Creator, the Absolute, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Great Spirit. Those are various names from various traditions and cultures who express those for God. Same one, whole bunch of different, and which is fine. Again, he's okay with that because if this culture using it for whatever purpose it's serving them, if it works for them, that's fine. If this culture using something else, in Egypt we had the three men fight, the Waset and Theban, different religious concepts, all the same thing, but they put the people different names, but all the same concepts. So it's always been that way. Understand it from different cultures, different traditions, different rituals. That should be why we respect other people's religious concepts. That's why I do, because it's different. Don't make it right or wrong. If it works for you, that's what right thing philosophy professes. You do what works for you. Moving on. Hope that point is clear at this point. But now all those names, okay, we got, but all of it, and the whole point is, and separate cultures all had reality, and they all represented what? The same one divine entity, the same one transcendental principle of what? The one. Everything is on the one. So philosophically, it haven't changed since it started. Religion in its purest form. My name, P Funk. That P stands for pure. And you want whatever you get to be pure. So give me my religion pure. And if it was in its pure form, which is what? The yoga system. That's what I practice. That's what I mastered. That's what I know. And its original intent, watch this. Religion in its purest form really is a yoga concept, a yoga system. And in its original intent and meaning of the scriptures are often misunderstood, and more importantly, mistaught. This is my personal issue with religion, which is distorted with its distorted teachings of some religious concepts. Again, if you misinterpret concept and you think you got it right or you believe you got it right, you're going to profess that. That's dangerous. Watch this. Now, because of the fact, and understand this, when the inner meaning of the myth, and that's what they tell stories, and the symbols, mysticism, become lost. Why? And only the esoteric meaning. I told you I teach esoteric, the hidden meaning. The exoteric is the outer meaning, just the general. Okay, that's fine. But watch this. When you only teach the exoteric meaning, which is only emphasized, then you're not teaching the esoteric, the hidden meaning. Okay, that's the difference. Right thing philosophy, Shita Netta, it teaches the hidden meaning. of the hidden one, supreme being. So they enlighten you to something that you can't see. You need to understand and philosophically get perspective. That's the difference in learning and being wise and understanding God, not just plainly believe. I believe in God. I believe in God. Yeah, I see sun. I got nature. That's God. That's all God. Everything is God. Everything is God. That's being a fanatic. That's a fan. You just going along to get along. Do some due diligence. Do your own personal work and get a personal relationship with God, and you'll be fine. That's why most religions tend to be what? Theistic. Theistic is the lowest level, knowledge-wise, is elementary level knowledge. Deism, watch this, is a religious belief for in the form of what? Theism, theology. And that means belief in the existence of God or gods. And that's true, that's right. And after that, it gets a little helter skelter hectic. Watch this. We all religions have the God concept. As I said, I study all of them and they all do the same thing, try to get you to God, link you back. And that's all understood. We go through that. But watch this. The belief, they believe, religious people believe, watch this is what I got a problem with, that God's actions was restricted to what? Initial act of what? Creation. And after he created everything, after the 6 days that they claim he rested on the seventh day, but after all that, they say he stepped back, which is said that he retired, separated himself from his creation to complete it, separate itself from creation to what? To contemplate, to contemplate his majesty of his work, which is what they say again, but this one it gets skewed. And therefrom, there comes the deism. It's closely related to the exoteric or personal understanding of the divinity of God. They think God is out there. They think God is separate from us. That's my issue I have with religion. And that whole concept don't work for me. That's where we part ways. I know the intent, I know the purpose, but when it's being mistaught, I have to step off. If you're doing something that I don't do, I'm not going to do it because you're doing it. That's not what I do. So I leave you alone. Simple. I'll keep using the boys in the hood. When they were going to ride down the guys who shot Ricky, he started thinking about the consequences of that action. Hold up. No, my man, pull over. What? I'm getting out. There. If I'm with you spiritually, if I'm with you religiously, at a certain point, I'm got the bus. Why? Because you're going somewhere I don't want to go. That's why. And that's my freedom of choice to make when I'm ready. Okay, moving on. Let me wrap this up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Where was I? Okay. When you separate God from man, I want him. That's what I want. God ain't out there. God ain't retreated. God ain't sit back. No, all that nonsense. That's why I got a problem with religion. So let me make that clear. Now, let me show you how this should work. Where we at? So believe that God action was retreated. Okay. Now, deism is closely related to just esoteric knowledge. Me giving basic elementary level knowledge that don't elevate you to a higher standard. But becoming spiritually enlightened is what? Learning and living spiritual truth now in its complete form. Religion, if done right, is composed of three aspects. First is mythology, which story. We all know that. Then you got the ritual, the practice of the story, and then the metaphysical or the mythological experience. This is where most Christians fall short. They do the first two, they get the story, they practice, but they never elevate to the mystical experience because they don't know how to put the work in to make that happen for them. But good Christians, good Muslims, and good Jews follow tenets, they perfectly on point. So it's a difference. If you do it right, it will work. If you do it wrong, it'll never work. So that becomes an impossible task to know thyself through ignorance or mistaught information, which is what religion is. I call it the well-dressed lie because they're not telling you all the truth. Just not my issue right now. We talk what religion is, but I call it the well-dressed lie because of these falsehoods that's in it that they won't fix. They know it, they won't change it. They're still going with the same information. If you know you're doing something wrong, or you've been think you're doing it right, and find out that it's wrong, if you continue to do that, that makes you wrong. If you change and acquiesce and do the right thing, that's the change that you want. That's the wake-up call. That's the enlightenment. That's the change in you that you have to do if you ain't already there. It's called raising your conscious level to become God-like while in the flesh with knowledge and understanding and practice. Moving on, I'm about to wrap this up. Where we at? Here we go. Many religions, here we go. The mystical, okay, most people stop because they don't get the third level, which is mysticism, the mystical philosophy, while many religions contain intervals or initiates, traditions, metaphors, and myths. Now that they are few who what have professional knowledge, who is well trained and well versed in the understanding of these deeper aspects of religion and the psychological implications, metaphysics, and mythological concepts. It's impossible to discover thyself with just exoteric knowledge, meaning low level knowledge. You have to raise your consciousness, become esoterically knowledge, which is hidden information that will help you raise your conscious level. That's the concept of right things philosophy. That's the goal of right things philosophy, to get you to raise your conscious level of spirituality, aka to know thyself. That lesson's over. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get this fried too.